This episode's covers were all selected by the crew over at the CTXO private Discord. If you'd like to learn more about that and other fun little show perks, including bonus videos, name in the credits, and more, check us out over on Patreon. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, y'all. It's bad album covers time again. And this time it's a spooky Halloween edition! Ooh, oh god, it's spoopy! Ah! I know I should have probably done more to, decorate the set or whatever. I am wearing a costume this year, though, believe it or not. I am dressed as a basic, boring white man. So this year, my Halloween costume is Mario.
What is this place?
Yahoo, children, it's me, the Morrow, from the video games. Let's eat 'em the mushroom and stomp on the Goomba and defeat the big Koopa Man. Come on, children. You know, I don't care that this is gonna date the video. Everything else about that trailer looks good, except boring-ass Chris Pratt's voice. Fuck you, Star-Lord. You're gonna make a horrible Garfield. Oh, wow. This is a golden-ass oldie, isn't it? Woo! This has to be from at least the 50s, right? This is about the nicest version of this cover I can find anywhere online, and I genuinely can't tell if these weird white streaks are actually supposed to be part of the cover, or if that's just some unfortunate stuff you have to explain when you mark the quality as PF on Discogs. I do have to admit the hand-drawn artwork is actually pretty well done. The skeletons are cartoony and fun, and the detail on the table and the gramophone is actually very nice. And the fluorescent glow coming off the word ghosts is also a really classy touch. I'd go as far as to say this album probably doesn't even deserve to be in this video. Except for... Oh, look at this champ. This stud muffin. This Chad amongst Chads. In his literal striped pajamas.
Striped pants.
I love how he also popped the collar to, still try to look cool, but, you're in your Jimmy Jams, man. And this was long before Mr. T at WrestleMania, so you don't have a prayer of looking even passable here, man. I'm sorry. It's also just his haircut, his doofy expression. Is it just me, or is this guy giving off serious Buster Poindexter vibes? It's not just me, right? Where's his Halloween album? He just looks so out of place and cheesy against the rest of this backdrop. Even his name is weird. Little Gerhard? Little Gerhard? Little Gerhard? Little Gerhard? Little Gerhard? Little Gerhard? I know it's probably pronounced Gerhard, but I can't simp otherwise, so let me have this. Oh no, come on. Oh my god. I can't even tell. Is this culturally offensive? I can't help but feel like this should be offensive. I'm just not sure who to. I had the folks at the CTXO Discord try to submit albums that had a Halloween-based theme, and while this one is kind of a stretch, I do think this one counts, if only because I had to think of a costume in literally 5 minutes. Definitely counts as a Halloween theme, let's be real, we've all been there. I mean, this costume, y'all, it's one step above bedsheet ghost. In fact, dare I say it, this almost is a bedsheet ghost costume. Just grab one of the silk sheets off my disgusting 80s waterbed, tie one of the pillowcases around your head, and I don't know, grab that souvenir snow globe my wife picked up on our last trip to Cairo. Bam, that's your album cover. Shut up, Rockwell. I mean, y'all, can you tell this was Rockwell's last record? This cover alone just screams One Hit Wonder's third record. This has contractual obligations scribbled all over it. This record came out long after the Somebody's Watching Me money ran out and Jacko stopped returning his calls. I mean, they didn't even bother to take his belt off. Are there a lot of genies out there wearing chinos and button-up dress shirts? Just woof, y'all. Just absolute woof. My third wish is for Rockwell to disappear. And what do you know? My wish came true. What the? What on earth is this supposed to be? Okay, I'm sorry, I need to get the really obscure joke out of the way first. Is this Ed Leslie?
Yes, no, no, yes, no.
To the 5 of you who got that, you're welcome. But like, yeah, what is the idea with the makeup here? I mean, credit where it's due, Zodiac's makeup here is actually pretty well done. Except you really should have finished the job there, mate. But Cheetah Girl here, I have a few notes. She has spots, but they don't look like cheetah. They look more like melanoma. And her eye makeup, unless she is trying to make bank at drag nights, that's a little excessive. And I'm sorry, but like, no amount of makeup can fix bad actors doing bad poses. And you know, you gotta be a special kind of bad actor to act poorly in a still shot, you know? It's their faces. She's acting way too much, and he's acting way too little. He might be sedated. Someone check on him and see if he's awake. He's making the I'm going to swallow my tongue face. You know, it was probably a bad idea to call your record Satan is Real, and then use the most unconvincing, cheap, tawdry cardboard cutout of the devil for your cover. The devil is real. No, the hell he's not. Isn't lying a sin? Fuck you. Oh my goodness. I just pissed off a whole bunch of people by laughing at this. Let me explain. See, this guy, his name is Mortis. And this may seem ridiculous, but this guy is actually, like, kind of a big name if you know your black metal or particularly your darker synth genres. Like, no shit, this dude is kind of a deal. He's the original bassist for Emperor. Yes, that Emperor. This is one of the guys that basically invented the entire dungeon synth genre. So, like, yeah, the guy is actually a legit musician with a long and influential history. But y'all, I'm sorry. Look at this. Look at this masterpiece. Even for 1999, this was hard to take seriously. Look at his cute little wings and his huge doofy ears, not to mention the giant skull codpiece. Daddy is home. I know this guy has his accomplishments, but I'm sorry. I can't take him seriously. Not when he looks like that. He literally looks like the Spirit Halloween knockoff version of himself. He doesn't look like a pioneer of black synth and metal. He looks like a Goosebumps villain.
Ooh, hello, kids. I'm the Gobbler Goblin. I've come to eat your feet because you didn't do your homework. Woo!
Who am I kidding? That's not a Goosebumps villain. This is just like 50% of Tinder and like 75% of Grindr. Am I right, ladies? Oh, Jesus, God, ow, my fucking eyes. God, wow, I am sorry to any particularly like sensory sensitive peeps out there who had to look at that. Man, I do not miss that trend in early 2000s hip hop where the album covers just had to be sensory goddamn overload. Fuck, man. Even for that era, this one is particularly bad. For one thing, this album, it has 3 artist names and no actual title. This album belongs to Baby, the #1 Stunna, and Birdman, and all 3 of those people are the same people. Okay, maybe maybe that's the pot calling the kettle black here on this one. I mean, I use a stage name too, technically. But fuck, man, at least I settled on one. It's clear you obviously were leaning towards Birdman. That's the name this guy eventually settled on, but like, why did you have to be so passive-aggressive about it in the debut record, man? Okay, I gotta put all 3 of my aliases on here, but make sure Birdman is the one stapled all over the background. All over the background. Staple it across every inch that isn't my weird morphing bird face. Every single inch is Birdman. Fuck this motherfucker, I am Bird Person. And another trend I don't miss about early 2000s hip-hop. Oof. You know you have confidence in your material when you have to plaster every single feature you've got all over the cover. Hey, I know you don't know me, but look at all these people you do know, man. Petey Pablo will surely carry you on your back, man. Come on, trust me. And like, all of this is before we address the elephant in the room, or the bird. I would make an Animorphs joke here, but credit to Animorphs. At least they put some effort into the morphing. Baby just looks like he couldn't afford the other half of his Foghorn Leghorn costume. Oh God, I'm sorry. I need to look away from this thing before it gives me a migraine. Can you please give me something else? Oh, Jesus, fuck! Holy shit, this cover, it's so... Help me. You guys aren't kicked out of hell. You are kicked out of the photocopier room. You bastards are never allowed to go into the UPS store again. Oh, God. Oh. Why is this episode so chock full of artists I'm not really allowed to be laughing at? God damn it. So yeah, recognize that name at the bottom? You might. Yeah, it's that Todd Rundgren, legend of 70s pop rock and a very accomplished producer in his own right. Again, he's kind of a if you know kind of guy. He's kind of a big deal, you know, at least in certain circles. Hell, we've covered him on this show before. He specifically knew that Greg was like a childhood idol, so because he knew that, he specifically treated him like an asshole. And he was kind of a dick. But this, y'all... Oh... I can't even with this. I mean, look at this basic-ass font for the title. What font is this, by the way? I know I've seen this before. Oh, come on. Herculanum Pro Bowl. You picked the font just because it has Hercules in the Todd, I thought you were better than this, man. You wrote, "Can we just be friends?" I figured you'd be more clever than that. I also figured you'd be better than this upkilt.com ass photo angle. Like, Jesus, we are just right up in there, aren't we? Just a little cozy tent right in between the legs. Make sure we get the entire nugget pouch in the shot. Let's see all the tiny demons you're hiding in there, Todd. And judging by what's going on in the foreground here, it, honest to God, looks like he's about to smash some poor guy's face in with the hilt of his grundle. Yeah, it sure looks like he's about to bang the drum all day. Is anyone under 50 going to get these references? Whew, y'all, there's just a lot to take in here. The font, the angle, the, for lack of a better word, costume. Again, this is supposed to be a Halloween-themed show, but if you showed up to a Halloween party wearing this, I have a feeling you'd be asked to leave. This has to be, like, the low point of Todd's album cover game, right? It doesn't get much worse than this. Todd. Mate. That's what you should have called this album. want to say anything here. I genuinely do not want to add any commentary to this. I can't. How can you improve upon perfection? I'm not even going to try. I don't dare tarnish this masterpiece. I mean, look at him go. Look at him. He's a little man. Ah. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh dear. Well, I mean, if we're talking Halloween, we're almost obligated by law to talk about these guys now, right? The Ice Nine Kills have really made a name for themselves with their later Silver Scream records. And whatever you think of those albums, for this one specifically, so this record here marks the beginning of their highly gimmicked era. You know, like with the Silver Screen records, how every one of those songs is about a different horror movie. Well, this is the record that actually started that whole gimmick trend they like to do, but this one had a bit of a different twist. Instead of a movie, every song on this record is based around a different piece of literature. And honestly, that makes sense given that these guys are named after a Vonnegut reference. This album as a whole actually feels like kind of a test drive for the Silver Scream records. You can kind of see the early intentions in there. And you know, all the usual suspects are here too. Bram Stoker's Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Carrie, The Diary of a Young Girl by... one of these things is not like the other. Okay, so full disclosure, this album isn't exactly horror themed like the Silver Scream records are. To its credits, it's just literature themed. Anything and everything goes. There are lots of other non-horror based songs on here too. You know, they draw from stuff like Animal Farm and Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Go Ask Alice. You know, it's a little bit of everything. The album is literally just about a bunch of books they like. Noble enough in execution. The album itself, honestly, it's okay. You know, no knocks against it as a record. Just want to get all that out there before I say, oh God, this cover though, holy shit. This doesn't look like an album cover. This looks like the child's drawing fan art version of the album cover. At least it makes sense. I can give it that much. It's a depiction of a book and a bunch of different characters from the books that are in the album, I guess. That's the problem. When there's no consistent theme between the pieces you're drawing from, it's how do you draw them all together? It's like an Avengers team up where your Avengers are like Captain America, Dom DeLuise, and fucking JJ the Jet Plane, and Anne Frank. I mean, I can kind of pick them out. That's probably Dracula at the bottom with the fangs. These two guys, I suppose they could pass for Jekyll and Hyde. Blood-covered gal is probably Carrie, but who is like basically everyone on the other side of this album? Who's this? Who's this? Who the hell is this? Is this Tess of the D'Urbervilles? I've read that book. I don't remember her doing backflips. Oh God, that's not supposed to be Anne Frank, is it? I really better move on before shit gets weird. Too late. Thank you very much, the OCs. Oh man, oh no. It's probably another one that's bound to get me some hate, but y'all, I'm sorry, this album cover, this is awful. What sucks about it too is that Danzig's cover game was actually really good for at least the first handful of records. I mean, check this stuff out. This is cool. Hell, Danzig 3 was done by H.R. Geiger. You don't do much better than that, especially for a guy like Danzig. Like, that works. These covers rule, but with, like, almost everything else when it comes to Danzig, it all started going wrong with Black Acid Devil. Yuck. And from there, it's just been, like, disappointment after disappointment after... Ugh. I mean, compare this to this. bruh, yo titties. But yeah, I gotta admit, this one's pretty bad even for Danzig's later oeuvre. Whatever you may think of this record sonically, the cover is awful. I guess it's supposed to be like a first-person perspective of like a demon coming to attack old Danny Boy and the gang. Oh no! But again, it's the acting that throws everything off here. Like, Danzig, you are about to be torn to ribbons by a literal monster from beyond our mortal coil. Can you at least not make a face that looks like you're yawning? Oh no, Danzig just woke up. Glenn, we're about to be killed. Can you at least, like, open your eyes a little bit? I mean, the rest of the band definitely isn't helping here either. Joey Castillo looks like he's bored and, like, he doesn't know where he's supposed to look. Oh, yeah, by the way, Queens of the Stone Age fans, yeah, that's Joey Castillo. Fun fact. And the other two guys, like, didn't even bother to put them in focus. It's like Danzig forgot that they were supposed to be part of the shoot too and just ended up using their driver's license photos. I mean, no disrespect to these guys, but like when even the photographer barely acknowledges your existence, you know you're pretty low on the totem pole, man. Ugh. Late era Danzig sure is something, isn't it? And we should move on before the Gen Xers get pissy and start leaving more comments trying to defend Danzig sings Elvis. Bitch all you want, people. All you're doing is helping daddy get that bag. Ooh, yeah, okay, now this is what I'm talking about. Halloween. Yeah, now we're getting into the Halloween spirit. These guys were made for an episode like this. 80s power metal, heavy as shit, soaring solos, and check out some of these early album covers. Exactly what the band name would imply. Just, yeah, dude, check that. Oh, look at this homie. He's just like, ah. This is 80s metal heaven right here. This is the good shit. So what do we have for this particular entry? Huh? What? Huh? What? This is Halloween? Naked dude in a bed in a hallway? Lady with a fish? Pink bubbles go ape? Is that a euphemism? If that is a euphemism, do I even want to know what that's a euphemism for? Oh wait, goddammit, I know what's going on here. Yep, sure enough. This is a 90s Halloween record. Oh, man. And unfortunately, like with a lot of 80s metal bands, the 90s were not kind to them. Yeah, this record, it has the stink of 90s metal desperation all over it. It's like, ah, shit, the kids aren't into this stuff anymore. They like weird stuff like naked ladies in the dirt and weird symbols, and how am I supposed to put that on a Night Ranger album? The kids these days like shit that doesn't make sense. So let's just do a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. I don't know, that'll sell as long as it's pointless. Give my cousin a fish, hire out the library for an afternoon, we'll just pick 4 words out of the dictionary, that'll be the album title. As long as it doesn't make sense, as long as it sells. Oh no! In fact, poor Halloween, their covers were bad for pretty much most of that decade. They did get back on track eventually, but like, man, metal in the early 90s, that was the true horror story right there. Be nice. I mean it, be nice, don't make fun. Some days you just forget to take your estradiol and you just gotta tough it out. Hey, we all been there, right, ladies? I ain't out here trying to judge. Oh, Jesus, fuck, God, no, oh, fuck, I'll judge you, though. Fuck, Jesus, God. Oh, my fucking God. I feel like Peter Griffin trying to look at James Carville looking at this. Oh, God, fuck, ah. And you know, I hate to even be like that because, like, this is actually, like, a really, really good song of theirs. And credit where it's due, homie's got moves, but like, oh my God, no! Ow, get it away from me! physically can't look at this thing. Oh, God. Hey, I remember this. Weren't you the main character from, like, Death Trap Dungeons or, like, Pandemonium or one of those other PS1 games? Whoever you were the tippy top peak of 3D graphics rendering in 1997, and you poor thing, I bet Lara Croft was up your ass all the time. My sincerest condolences. Oh, uh-oh, here we go. Oh, this one's a bit of a hot take, isn't it? The thing is though, like, for as much as I like the OG Iron Maiden self-titled, for as important as this album is, I don't even know if it's so much a bad album cover. It is a cover that's just aged really, really poorly. I mean, you gotta put yourself back in 1980 when this came out. You're thumbing through the LPs at a Camelot Records or a Coconuts, and what else are you seeing there? Funky Town, the Pina Colada song, fucking Air Supply. Wow, 1980 was a garbage year for music, wasn't it? You're pawing through all that shit, and then this bad boy looks you in the face. It's like, whoa! Holy shit! Like, this guy was probably pretty genuinely scary for 1980. I mean, fuck, you almost had to take it home just for the curiosity of it. Or if only because it's not Christopher Cross or Jermaine Jackson for the 700th time. Sure, let's give it a try, why not? This is one of those album covers that, it worked for the time, but 40 years after the fact, honestly, it just kind of has the Mortis problem, and that this is just like half the guys you swipe left on Tinder, you know what I mean?
Do you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast?
Dickie? My man? My guy? My brother in Christ? May I have a word? There is just so much to break down here. See, this is my favorite type of bad album cover because, man, oh man, there's just layers to this. For now, let's focus on the artwork itself. It's, fine, I guess. I mean, at least I understand, like, the theme and whatnot. Everything at least kind of fits together. I mean, hey, there's Dracula, there's Frankenstein, there's Frankenstein's friend with benefits. But the more you look at it, the more things get weird. Why are we in a swamp? Why does the werewolf have a bionic arm and cottage cheese for a face? Who is this guy in the background and why is he floating? And this thing up front, what the hell is that? Is that supposed to be like a little gremlin? I don't know, dude. I've worked with a few little gremlins in my time. They don't look anything like that. God, it looks like something Dr. Seuss would draw if he were intentionally trying to traumatize a kid. And what does that say on his shirt? PPE? Is this gremlin fastidious about workplace safety? Is he an OSHA inspector? You might want to check out that floating guy. I feel like that's an OSHA violation. Or I guess that could be a P? Like PPP? Did this gremlin scam his employees out of paychecks during COVID? Look, whatever this thing is, it needs to die. And on top of that, I cannot forgive the font sins going on here. The Monster album looks fine, I guess, but then Dickie Goodman's Halloween is just literal typewriter face? I'm not entirely convinced that Dickie didn't just steal someone else's Monster album compilation artwork and just like stuck a bunch of his own stickers and shit all over it to say it was his. Hello y'all, Future Crash here. After a little bit more research, it turns out that, yes, that's exactly what he did. Oy. I would say that I hope whoever you stole this artwork from sues the shirt off your back, but it looks like they already did. Dickie, Dick, Mr. Richard, of all the photos of yourself you could have used for this artwork, Why did you use the one that looks like it's a cropped dick pic? Hey, what format is this? What format is this record? I'm unclear just by looking at it as to what format this album is. I need to know so that I know if my stereo system will be able... Oh, there's a CD in the bottom right corner. Oh, you see that's a little CD in the bottom right corner. That means it's a CD, so I know that it'll be a CD. Thanks for putting a random clip art picture in there so that I would know it was a CD. Thanks for that. We all needed that. Dickie. Oh, but y'all, the best part of this is technically Dickie Goodman's Halloween Volume 1. There's a Volume 2 to this series. You want me to show you the cover to that? I don't think you're ready for it, but I'll show it to you. I swear to God, I did not make that myself. I did not Photoshop this. These are 2 separate albums with different songs. Oh, this fucking guy, people, y'all don't even know the half of it. He's basically the Viper of cheesy novelty songs, but that may be for another time. I'm gonna keep this one in my back pocket. I'm gonna hang on to this, Dickie. Wait a minute. Oh my God, look at this. Oh, and look at this. Oh, this one's even worse. Oh, come on. Oh, it just wouldn't be a bad album covers episode if we didn't get some really, really dreadful black metal album covers, would it? People, listen, I know it's hard being in a band, especially a black metal band, and I know you're probably working on an extremely tight budget. But if you're going to insist on having a hand-drawn image for your album cover, hire someone who can draw. And also think of a better name for your band than Misanthropical Pain Forest. Misanthropical Pain Forest. Go to your room. Ooh, y'all. Oh, this one's actually pretty rough. See, I don't know if we can count this one. I'm not sure this is supposed to be Halloween themed. This is just what I look like when I first wake up in the morning. I mean, let the man at least have his coffee first before we judge him. It's easy to forget how hard times were for Black Sabbath after Ronnie James Dio left. See, this is why we need to keep abortion safe and legal, goddammit. No. Oh. Y'all, I can't do this one. Not this one. Y'all, I suppose it technically does count. There's enough costuming and weird stuff in here for it to count, but like, oh, y'all, do y'all want me to do this one? I don't know if I have the strength to actually talk about Corey Feldman's Angelic to the Core. See, the problem with this record is, what can I say that wasn't already said, like, 6 years ago? I mean, who hasn't dragged this record since then? Everyone's taken their shots with this little bad boy. I guess since we're only talking about the cover, that gives me a little bit of wiggle room, but like, even then, like, what else can I say here? The terrible fire and smoke effects that look like they were ripped from a 90s version of After Effects. The angels and their eBay level Halloween costumes. Where do you buy fuzzy angel halos anyway? Probably not anywhere I can mention on this video and not get demonetized. And none of that is even mentioning Corey himself with that spangly ass outfit, that girdle, the Tommy Wiseau wig. Y'all, that's a wig. That is a wig. Judge me all you want, but there's no way in hell that is not some kind of rug. If that's not a wig, I will eat my own wig. But you know what? I won't focus on any of that. I have only one major issue with this cover. An issue that has bugged me for literally 6 years. Something that's been up my ass about this image for as long as this cover has existed. Why in the hell isn't it formatted properly? What the fuck is up with these black bars at the top and the bottom? It's so fucking distracting. It just, I'm sorry, but it triggers my OCD in like the worst possible way. I'm willing to overlook everything about this cover. I mean, it's bad, but we've covered way worse on this show. This is nothing compared to some of the stuff we saw like 10 minutes ago. But it's just the small fact that they couldn't take 5 extra seconds to fix the image so it would be a consistent resolution. You couldn't take a minute to make the image a square? It's not even like it'd be hard to do. The top of the image is sky and clouds, and the bottom is just black smoke. 30 seconds with a clone tool in Photoshop. Bam, it's fixed. Or hell, if you wanted to be really lazy, you could have just like stretched the image a little bit, just so it would fit within the dimensions. Like, there, again, fixed in no time. There are a million things, easy things they could have done to fix this image so it looks right, but they didn't do it. Why? Was this part of Corey Feldman's crazy demands? Did no one literally even give that much of a fuck to fix it? I mean, okay, I can understand why that would be the case, but still, it's such a small, teensy, nitpicky little thing that is so small, but so unavoidably distracting. It's like one of those troll pictures that have like little fake hairs on them that make you think you have like a hair you need to brush off your screen, or even worse, a hairline crack in your phone. Oh, fuck whoever did that. Yeah, it's small, but it like pisses you off, and that is this album cover in a nutshell. It's infuriating and distracting and weird and unexplainable. Why would they do this? Why wouldn't they fix the cover just a little bit so it worked? It would be like if a YouTuber uploaded his video in like this weird resolution that was like not consistent with the screen, but it just left these little bars and left the image all weird and stretched out for the whole video. So you're watching it and wondering the whole time, why is it like that? Why is the image all fucked up? Why didn't he see that and fix it? Why isn't the image right? It's so easy to fix. Why would you do this to us? Happy Halloween, everybody! Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, you're mad. You're mad that I haven't used you in a lot of videos lately, huh? I'm sorry, I'm not uploading as much these days, and I haven't really thought of a good part for you. That's all. Oh, don't look at me like that. I'll use you for sure when the year ends come up. Oh, don't be that way. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'll think of a good use for you in the next video. I promise. Oh, don't be like that. Oh, come on. Come on, that's... Oh. Why can the bat move?